If you haven't seen it already, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has put a video out where he appears not to have been wearing his seatbelt. And apparently the police are looking into whether or not he was wearing his seatbelt, despite the fact that a spokesperson on his behalf has already said that he's admitted to not wearing his seatbelt and apologised for it, saying that it was a lapse in judgment. A spokesperson for Number 10 said that in a brief error of judgment, the Prime Minister removed his seatbelt to film this short clip, and that he fully accepts that this was a mistake and apologises for it. He goes on to say that the Prime Minister believes that everyone should wear a seatbelt, that it was an error of judgment. He removed it for the short period of time to film this clip, which you've seen, but he accepts that this was a mistake. Now, make no mistake from me as well, I would always urge everybody to wear a seatbelt, but there are also limited situations where drivers and, in rare exceptions, passengers can be exempt from wearing a seatbelt. One situation I've talked about for drivers is usually with taxis or private hire vehicles. With taxis, if they are looking for a fare or carrying a fare. For private hire vehicles, if they are actually carrying out a paid fare. And in limited situations, such as if the vehicle doesn't have seatbelts fitted, then obviously you can't wear one. This is usually the situation for classic cars, but also some other situations, such as a vehicle used for police or rescue services. But also some situations with the royal family where they are told or decide not to wear a seatbelt so that they can make a quick exit from the vehicle in certain situations if it's deemed necessary. And this might extend to other people, but that's beyond the scope of my current knowledge or research. But what I would say is that with the recent videos that I've done where police are not investigating certain types of crimes that really I think they ought to be, and clearly many of you viewers think they ought to be, such as chasing down a vehicle that's been tracked to a specific location or a mobile phone that's been tracked to a location and the owner is going to retrieve it, and yet the police just didn't have the resources to do anything about it. Equally, many people have been burgled and the police simply don't have the time to turn up or refuse to turn up because there's nobody there and the police say there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it, so there's no point turning up to investigate. As many people have said on Twitter, which I won't make any judgment, but I'll leave you to decide whether you think this is right or not, many people have put on Twitter that this is a complete waste of the police time, that they really shouldn't be investigating whether or not Rishi Sunak was wearing his seatbelt when clearly he's made an admission to the effect and apologised for it as a brief lapse of judgment, and some people saying that this is a waste of police time. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about that, whether you think the Prime Minister should be held accountable for not wearing the seatbelt, even though one of these narrow exemptions may apply. If it does, I would suggest that we won't know about it, we won't be told about it, because after all, if these decisions are made by the security services or special branch, then we, the general public, are not going to be told about it, we are not going to know about it for obvious and security reasons, and therefore, however much he apologises, or even if he goes on to be fined and pays a fine for it, we still won't know or be told whether or not there was an original decision which was a good reason or otherwise for him not to wear the seatbelt. Either way, I'm sure you will all have views on it, and let me know those views in the comments. In the meantime, please do smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.